The average American saves about 4% of their income. The average Chinese household saves over 30%. That's a 7 times difference. And over 30 years of compounding, it's the difference between retiring with around $290,000 and retiring with over $1.4 million on the exact same salary. And the gap has nothing to do with income, cost of living, or discipline. It comes down to a 5-part wealth building system that Chinese families have been refining for centuries, passed down quietly from grandparents to parents to children, while most Americans were being sold a completely different set of rules. In this video, I'm going to walk you through all 5 of those secrets, the math behind why each one works, and exactly how to apply them to your own finances starting this month. Let's get into it. Meet Ryan. He's 26 years old, lives in a 1-bedroom apartment, and earns $63,000 a year as a marketing coordinator. He's been making over $50,000 for 6 years. By every external measure, he's doing fine. But here's what his accounts actually look like. His credit card statement shows $4,100 in charges this month, Target runs, food delivery, a kitchen gadget still in the box from the last kitchen gadget he bought and never opened. His checking account is at $1,200. His savings account is at $812. After 6 years of working full-time, that's all he has to show for it. Ryan isn't broken. He's not bad with money. He's not lazy. He's running the standard American operating system. Earn, spend, and save whatever's left at the end of the month. The problem is that nothing is ever left at the end of the month because spending always expands to fill the income available. This isn't a Ryan problem. This is a system problem, and almost every American is running the same system. Across the Pacific, a different system has been in use for centuries. It doesn't require a higher salary, a different country, or any kind of cultural background. It requires a different sequence of decisions about every dollar that enters your account. Ryan is about to switch operating systems. Not his job, not his salary, not his apartment. Just the rules underneath the money. Chinese families have been refining a 5-part wealth building system for generations. It's not a budget. It's not a side hustle. It's not a money mindset. It's a sequence of decisions that determines where every dollar goes before you ever touch it. Here are the 5 secrets, in the order they have to be applied, because the order matters more than any single one of them. The first secret is a single phrase in Chinese, kun qian. It literally translates to save money, but the meaning is closer to deposit first. The idea is simple. The moment money enters your account, a portion of it leaves immediately into savings or investments. You spend whatever remains. Most Americans run the opposite sequence. Earn, spend, save what's left. The math doesn't work because nothing is ever left. Spending expands to fill the income available, the same way work expands to fill the time available. It's Parkinson's law, applied to money. The only way to break the law is to remove the income before spending begins. Here's what that looks like in real numbers. Ryan earns $4,800 a month after taxes. Under his old system, his spending swallows everything by the 28th of the month. His effective savings rate is about 3%, and that's only because his employer's 401k contribution comes out before he sees his paycheck. Now Ryan applies kun qian. The morning after every payday, an automatic transfer moves $960, 20% of his take-home, into a combination of his 401k, a Roth IRA, and a high-yield savings account earning around 4%. He never sees that money. His new spending reality is $3,840. His brain adjusts within about 2 months because the human brain is remarkably good at adapting when the option to spend simply doesn't exist. After 1 year, Ryan has saved and invested $11,520. Under his old system, the same year would have produced about $1,700. Now project this over 30 years at an average 8% return. Ryan's kun qian habit produces approximately $1.4 million. His old habit produces around $210,000. Same job, same salary, same apartment. The only variable is the order of operations. If you do nothing else from this video, set up 1 automatic transfer for the day after your paycheck deposits. 20% if you can, 10% if you can't. Anything is better than 0. Everything else in the system gets easier once this one decision is automated. Secret 2. The second secret is jie jian, which roughly translates to thrift, but Western translations miss the cultural nuance. Jiejian isn't austerity. It isn't living on rice and water. It isn't canceling every subscription and never going out. It's the principle that every dollar should be consciously deployed rather than absorbed into invisible lifestyle inflation. Here's where most Americans lose decades of potential wealth without ever noticing. The average American absorbs the majority of every raise into expanded spending within 90 days. A $5,000 raise becomes a slightly nicer apartment, a slightly newer car, slightly more dining out, a slightly upgraded streaming bundle. The lifestyle quietly inflates to match the income. 12 months later, the savings rate hasn't moved. This is why someone earning $120,000 often saves the same percentage as someone earning $60,000. The expenses scaled with the paycheck. Jiejian breaks this pattern at the moment of the raise. When Ryan gets his first $5,000 raise, 90% of it goes directly into investments before it ever touches his lifestyle. 10% gets absorbed, a small upgrade he can actually feel. The other $4,500 goes to work for him. There's a wrong way to do this, and it matters. Jiejian is not the scarcity mindset of treating every dollar like it's your last. People who push too hard the other direction, saving so aggressively that life feels punishing, usually crack within a year, blow their savings on a vacation or a car, and end up worse off than before. The correct version is conscious deployment. Spend on what genuinely matters. Don't spend on what doesn't. Treat every raise as an opportunity to widen the gap between what you earn and what you spend, not as permission to close it. Now run the math on 5 raises over the next 15 years, each one handled with Jiejian discipline. The compound effect adds approximately $340,000 to Ryan's eventual net worth at 8%, purely from refusing to inflate his lifestyle in lockstep with his income. That number isn't from earning more. It's from refusing to spend more when he started earning more. Every raise is an opportunity to widen the gap. Most people accidentally close it. Jiejian keeps it open. Secret 3. The third secret is a discipline trained into Chinese children from a young age. The distinction between Su Yao and Xiang Yao. Need and want. The difference matters because the financial logic is completely different for each one. For needs, the things that protect your health, your safety, your ability to earn, you spend what's required to get a quality version. Cheap shoes that destroy your feet aren't frugal. A broken office chair that wrecks your back over a year isn't a saving. For genuine needs, especially anything affecting health, the Chinese principle is to buy once and buy properly. For wants, the things you enjoy but don't require, there's a second filter: cost per use. The total price of the item divided by the realistic number of times you'll use it. This single calculation converts emotional purchases into mathematical ones without forbidding wants entirely. Here's the example that changes how Ryan shops. He wants a $400 winter coat. Under his old system, this is either an impulse purchase he regrets or a deferred purchase he keeps thinking about until he buys something cheaper that falls apart in one season. Under cost-per-use logic, he runs the math out loud. The coat will last him about 5 winters. He'll wear it roughly 120 days each winter. 5 times 120 is 600 wears. $400 divided by 600 wears is about 67 cents per wear. The coat is a yes. Now, run the same math on a $400 trendy hoodie he'll wear maybe 20 times before getting bored of it. 400 divided by 20 is $20 per wear. Same dollar amount, completely different decision. The hoodie is a no, not because it's expensive, but because the math doesn't work. This is what frictionless American spending culture is designed to prevent. Tap to pay, one-click ordering, autofill checkout, every layer of the modern shopping experience is engineered to keep your brain asleep at the moment of purchase. Cost per use is cognitive friction by design. It forces a 5-second pause where the math has to land before the dollars move. Apply this filter to every discretionary purchase over $50 and the redirected spending is enormous. For the average person, somewhere between $600 and $1,200 a month is currently leaking into low-cost per-use purchases that won't survive the year. Even half of that, redirected and invested at 8% over 30 years, becomes roughly $900,000. Almost $1 million built from one habit. running the math before you swipe the card. Secret 4. Generational wealth thinking. The fourth secret is the one that quietly multiplies everything else. It's called Jia Chan, family wealth, or family estate. The principle is that wealth is built to be transferred, multiplied, and preserved across generations rather than consumed in a single lifetime. Most American financial advice optimizes for one person retiring comfortably. Chinese financial culture optimizes for the family unit across decades. This shows up in everyday life through a tradition called Ya Sui Qian, the red envelope money given to children at Lunar New Year and other major celebrations. On the surface, it looks like a holiday gift. Underneath, it's a deliberate, century-old training system. Children receive money from relatives. Parents help them deposit most of it. The child sees the balance grow. By the time they're a teenager, they've internalized two things. American children almost never learn that money is something you accumulate, not something you immediately spend, and that even small amounts compound over time when you leave them alone. Compare this to the average American financial education. Most U.S. adults receive zero formal financial training in school. Most Americans don't have their first conversation about compound interest until they're already working full-time and trying to fix problems they didn't know they were creating. Each generation largely starts from zero or near zero and relearns money the hard way. Chinese families don't restart the learning curve every generation. They hand it down. Now run the multi-generational math. If Ryan applies these principles for himself only, he retires comfortably with around $2 million. If he applies them and also teaches his future children to start at age 22 with a $5,000 head start and the same operating system, those children retire with multi-millions before they hit 50. The compounding window expands from one lifetime to two. A single generation of correct teaching can multiply family wealth roughly 8 to 10 times over a 60-year window, compared to each generation starting from scratch. If you have kids, the most valuable thing you'll ever pass to them isn't an inheritance. It's the operating system that lets them build their own. And if you don't have kids yet, the principle still applies. You are passing the operating system to your future self. Secret 5. The fifth and final secret is the one that ties the other four together. The Chinese phrase is nai xin, patience, but more accurately, the willingness to endure something long enough for it to mature. In Chinese financial culture, time itself is treated as the primary asset, not income, not investment returns, not luck, time. Here's why this matters. The average American holds an investment for about 5.5 years before selling, repositioning, panic selling during a downturn, or pulling money out for something else. Chinese households routinely hold long-term savings instruments for 15 years or more. This single difference, duration of holding, is one of the largest documented predictors of final wealth across cultures, and it has almost nothing to do with stock-picking ability. Watch what happens to Ryan's $11,520 per year over different time horizons at 8%. After 5 years, he has about $67,000. After 15 years, around $313,000. After 30 years, $1.4 million. Notice something. The growth from year 15 to year 30 is larger than everything that came before it combined. That's not a calculation error. That's how compound interest actually works. The biggest gains happen at the end after most people have already given up and pulled out. This is the patience tax. It's paid by impatient investors directly to patient ones. Every time someone panic sells in a downturn, someone else buys their shares at a discount and holds them for the recovery. Every time someone moves their money to chase a hot trend, someone else stays in the index fund and collects the long-term return. The market doesn't reward intelligence. It rewards endurance. This is why the Chinese system actually works. Not because any single secret is unique, most of these principles exist in some form in every culture. The system works because all 5 pieces are designed to keep money in the market long enough for compounding to do its job. Most American financial advice teaches what to invest in. The Chinese system teaches how long to leave it alone. Compound interest isn't math, it's discipline. The math just rewards the discipline. Now let's look at what actually happens to Ryan over the next 30 years if he applies all 5 secrets consistently. Same job, same salary trajectory, same apartment for now. The only thing that changed is the operating system. By year 1, he has about $12,000 invested. He's already saved more in 12 months than he had accumulated in the previous 6 years combined. By year 5, with raises handled through Jiajian and the cost per use filter applied to discretionary spending, his invested net worth is around $80,000. By year 10, he crosses 200,000. He buys his first appreciating asset, a modest property, instead of a depreciating one. By year 15, he's at roughly 520,000. This is the threshold where compound returns start exceeding his annual contributions. The money is now earning more per year than he is adding. By year 20, he's at around 890,000. His investment income alone now matches half his salary. He could stop contributing entirely and the portfolio would keep growing on its own. By year 25, he crosses $1.4 million. Financial independence is no longer a fantasy. It's a calendar problem. By year 30, with reinvested gains and continued contributions, Ryan's net worth is approximately $2.1 million. Now compare this to his original trajectory. Same job, same salary, same apartment. Under the American default operating system, Ryan retires with around $210,000. Under the Chinese system, he retires with roughly 10 times that amount. The difference isn't income, the difference is sequence, discipline, math literacy, and patience, applied consistently for 30 years to the same paycheck Ryan was already earning. None of these 5 secrets are exotic. None of them require Chinese heritage. None of them require an income above the median. Anyone with an automatic transfer, a notebook, and the willingness to think in decades instead of paychecks can run this system. Here's the playbook in 5 lines. 1. Automate a transfer of 15 to 20% of your take-home pay the day after every paycheck. Save first. Spend what remains. 2. When you get a raise, send 90% of it to investments before your lifestyle has time to absorb it. Keep the gap between what you earn and what you spend wide open. 3. Before any discretionary purchase over $50, run the cost per use math out loud. The answer tells you whether to buy. 4. If you have kids, or you're planning to, start teaching them about saving and compounding now. If you don't, treat your future self as the next generation. Hand down the system. 5. Hold the long position. Most of the wealth in this video doesn't appear until year 15, 20, and 30. Patience is the multiplier. Everything else is just inputs. Most Americans are running an operating system designed for someone else's wealth. The Chinese system isn't a secret because it's hidden. It's a secret because almost no one in the West is willing to do 5 boring things consistently for 30 years. The ones who do, regardless of where their family is from, end up rich. If this video helped you see your money differently, hit the like button, subscribe for more videos that show you the actual math behind real wealth, and I'll see you in the next one.